Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
We the GMS New Orleans Saints here to bring you a live camp. Prior to get started, want to give infinite honors and prayers to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who taught us his truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, you Aqua, which is your brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. Shalom. And so just this live camp here, we're gonna start it off and harping on the mindset, to be in right now. Okay, because in this times of trouble, things, uh, a lot of things is about to start going south. All right, so that's where your mind kind of needs to be expecting these things. Okay, and ultimately, keep your mind on the kingdom. Because that's the end goal for us all. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, that's the peace that we can find in our mind. Going through all this madness. All right, but kick me off with that second Ezra Baba Kishah.
This is Second Ezra 14 and verse 14. It says, "Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature."
Yeah, put off now that weak nature. All right, we ain't got time for to be uh, concerning ourselves with folly and bullshit. All right, anything that's too pleasing to the flesh. All right, at some point in time, we gotta lock in and discipline ourselves. And finish this race. Okay, but again, read that 14 again, the beginning.
Verse 14, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts."
Uh, those mortal thoughts, man. All right, and we deal with them every day. Okay, brothers is fighting constantly. These demons, these thoughts, day in and day out. All right, but at some point in time, the tide's got to turn. All right, and you need to start winning that battle. All right, or at least fighting to try to win. All right, because the moment that you submit and you tap out, you basically didn't gave up your crown, man. All right, and the Lord, constantly tell you throughout the scriptures that this is a continuing battle. It's day in and day out, and brothers also know too that the biggest battle that you ever gonna have to fight is within yourself. Okay, but continue on and finish it off with the you can just read it through to 16.
Cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
Con. So even what you think is hard right now, all the trouble, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, where it's just the worldly events that's going on. If you think this is hard, you know, wait till JT, hit his climax. All right, wait till the shit really hit the fan. You know, so that's where knowing that all of these things are to come. That's why you shouldn't be focusing on these minor inconveniences. All right, that's just something that the Lord is putting in front of us for us to ultimately overcome.
This is 1 Corinthians 7, verse 31. And they that use this world, that's not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away.
Yeah, we use this world and don't abuse it. Okay, with that meaning, we get what we could get, and pretty much you try to stay out the way. All right, we don't try to, for example, of being at work and so on and so forth. Jake not trying to be at work for 10, 15 hours, trying to work extra hours just for that OT. Nah, brother trying to get home and handle business that need to be handled.
God, it's like serious, man. Like we using the world, like hey, we just using the world to get what we get, to able to survive. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, yeah, we can live another day.
You know? Bread, man.
Yeah. But we're not abusing it. Means we want to say we're abusing. It means doing too much.
Yeah, overindulging.
Yeah, overindulging. You're not supposed to do that because hey, as we can see, the faster this world passes away, man. We really hey, all this shit about to be over anyway. You know what I'm saying?
It's like I because when you do that, you setting a snare or a trap into yourself. You overindulge in the world. You know. You got it.
If I'm not mistaken, that word world goes into eon in that one, right? That age.
I'll take it over. I think it's open over there. Where you at?
First Corinthians 7.
I got a piece of it.
I got one too.
Con. But ultimately, just backing up the brother. You know, if the brother could just clarify that for me. But just also backing up the brother, Cosmos, kind of select. But you know, just backing up the brother. You know, everything in this world, you know, right in front of us is gonna be gone, man. All right, this is a temporary ass environment that we in. You know, that we have to constantly endure. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, another part too I wanted to make, was cause hey, that's what burns us more financially. You know, being burned financially, but at the end of the day, like we know for a fact, we're not tripping about it because we know for a fact these things gotta come. But the whole economic collapse, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when we gotta realize that. That's why, hey man, we're not supposed to, hey man, side minds trying to see even worldly gains. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
Cause hey, as we can see, man, all the worldly gains about to be, hey, man, decline.
Yeah.
About to be over with.
You got it.
It's 2 Ezra 7:42. He says, and he answered me and said, this present life is not the end, but much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. I'm gonna jump to 57. But you know, like you were saying, this present life, huh?
No, I was just looking at.
Oh, kind. But you know, this present life ain't the end, man. You know, that's why we not invested in, you know, what Jake is invested in. All right, the whole worldly scheme of things. All right, and you know what Jake is invested in. All right, sports. All right, chasing the bag, getting $1 million. Right, we're not invested in these things because we know what the glory is to come, man. All right, but I'm gonna jump to 57. It says, then he answered me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
Got it. Read it again.
God, in 2 Ezra 7:57, it says, then he answered me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
The condition of the battle, all right? Because we know what we signed up for. Okay, we know that we signed up for temptation and on every scale, every which way, you know, and ultimately we know that if we continue to push, if we continue, you know, Lord's will, continue to wake up and be able to continue to push his work out and do everything that is pleasing to the Lord already has something promised for us. Okay.
That's why I said this is the condition of the battle.
Yeah.
When you go into condition, it's a state that the things are in. So you got to do what? Battle within it. This is the fight. This is the fight, man.
Yep.
All right. I got one more verse though.
Like an add to you real quick. It's that's like the analogy of like rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
All right. Because at some point in time, we already know if you get in a fight and expect not to get punched, you know, when you get punched, it's going it's gonna fuck up your mental.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, you just punch me. You
got to keep fighting.
Yeah, you don't know how to act. You don't know how to react. But you know, once you get used to taking punches and seeing that, okay, after he hit this combo right here, I usually just duck this and boom, I'm out the way. You know, I'm just sticking and moving at this point in time. Once you start understanding the battle, the fight that's going on, now you get into that flow state where you just flow with everything that's going on. But you got it, bro.
Okay, this 2 Ezra 6:59. It says, for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose the life that thou mayest live. You know, and that's what you got to do, man. Choose life, man. All right, because we know, as what Joshua said, you know, as for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord, man. You know, yeah, which is life. You see, and everything that wanders out of the way of understanding is what? Is dead, man.
Yeah. Even to a point, man, Lord for to give us eternal life, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's why he said this present life ain't the end.
Yeah.
But much glory do abide.
Yeah.
You got it.
You want to say something?
I got that, man.
You got it, Marty. Get that mic.
I got 3 more.
3 more pre's or 3 more birds?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
I'm holding a lot of them. You
Oh.
see my fingers, bro.
Oh, okay. Philippians. Yeah. Hit the mic 2 and 10. Let me see.
Okay. It's Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, but this is not your rest. because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even where it saw destruction.
Con, it tells you, arise and depart, because this is not your rest. All right, because we know, in the scripture, it's not talking about physically. All right, we know that you can't physically flee away from any type of destruction that the Lord has ordained. All right, whatever is ordained to you is going to come. All right, and it's already ordained that destruction is going to happen to America, aka Babylon. Okay, but at the end of the day, when it tells you to flee, to arise and depart, it's telling you to arise and depart mentally and spiritually. All right, because we know that this is not our rest. All right, waking up every day early in the morning to go slave for this devil, and seeing our people just bugged out of their minds, this ain't living at all.
Right. I just want to say really quickly, the scriptures teach you, I believe it's in Baruch, it says, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Mhm.
And Jake has made his bed here. He's made it comfortable. But, our brothers, from the nation of Israel have done that in ancient times, man. They waxed really rich. You know what I'm saying? They had plenty of goods and, commodities and different things of that nature. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying, they declined the Lord, right? You know what I'm saying, by slapping away his hand, not doing the things he told them to do. And then he brought the judgment,
It was Philippians 3 and 13.
3 and 13.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have you jump down.
If I can make a quick point on what you said, because Jake is a natural survivor or a supplanter.
Mhm.
Because if you go into the name Jacob, what did he do? It means to supplant. So that being our forefather, was Jacob's name was changed to Israel, right? Because he wrestled the angel for his blessing, man. So naturally, what Jake gonna do? He gonna supplant. He gonna figure a way out, to survive. And so, how much more the elect men in these latter times, man? Go ahead, bro.
And ultimately, damn, somebody get that scripture. Paraphrasing, where your mind is, that's where your treasure is.
I got you.
Oh, Matthew 6.
Con. Yeah, but again, with that Micah 2 and 10, arise and depart, because this is not your rest, and it's it's full of pollution. Roughly paraphrasing, you don't want your mind to be stuck here, man. Because once your mind is stuck here, is pretty much a done deal. All right, once you, and brothers know that in any type of mindset, that once you lock in with your mind and what you want to do, you're gonna do it. All right, so if you have the mindset that, all right, man, I'm locked in with Babylon, and I'm here trying to slave myself to death. I'm trying to get this generational wealth and do this for my family for the next 30 to 40 years. That's everything that you're going to put your efforts to, okay? But when you put your mindset on the things of the Lord, and you knowing that this thing is not going to be here that long, all right, and the glory that's to come, that's what you're going to put your effort to again.
And because whatever a man sow, he's gonna reap of it.
Yeah.
So if you sow and you put your efforts and your energy into trying to make it in the world, then you gonna reap of the world. But the end of the world is destruction. Well, this world at least. So once you invest in it, you just gonna be destroyed with it. So that's why we invest in righteousness, the spiritual things that we may inherit it when the kingdom of heaven come down, obtain the salvation. I got a scripture.
Yeah, you kind of quoting it. You could grab it in Galatians 6, I believe.
Galatians 6 and 7.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
You want me to bring this out right fast? You had something? It was just a backup of points.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's quick.
And,
This 1 Peter 4 and 7, it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
mhm. Be sober. All right. So being sober, obviously in the physical sense as well as mostly the spiritual sense. All right. You don't want to be caught up in any way, shape, or form of lacking. All right. So it's lawful to drink and so on and so forth, but that goes into overindulging, which you don't want to be in that character, because if you ever get in the character of overindulging, then you just not aware to anything you surroundings. But to continue on the spiritual aspect of it, we need to be aware of our surroundings, to make sure that we don't give up our crown. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said,
It said the first part, but the end of all things is at hand.
God.
That's why I say that. You got to be in the right mindset.
End of all things. So if the end is coming, man, you always have to prepare for the end. All right, the end is never something that you just willy nilly, just don't. You're oblivious of it happening.
Yeah, if I can say, being drunk, you make rash decisions. You make decisions that are not using wisdom.
Mhm.
And imagine being in the greatest day of all time and not using the wisdom that supposed to be using in that day.
Right.
And go ahead.
Awesome. I was just gonna say, drinking basically clouds your judgment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can't think, like your brother said, you can't think straight. And what does Esau offer? The scriptures say he offers you wine, right?
Yeah.
You drink the wine, you get drunken off of what? His doctrines, his philosophy.
Yeah, if I can see this, ultimately when we get in that day, that's why you're gonna see people being cannibals, going and invading houses, just doing all sorts of wickedness because their judgment is clouded, and at that particular time that they're committing these acts, they believe that those things, that's what they supposed to be doing.
Right. The scriptures even tell
You
you
got-
they'll
y'all
be
got-
killing, righteous men, thinking they would be doing God a service.
Right.
And like you said, furthermore, to back up that point was, what does the law offer? He offers you living water,
Right.
which basically sobers you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But the scriptures teach you that our people reject the living waters.
And just to back up the beautiful points that both of you brothers are making right now. I just thought about it in the sense you don't want to be spiritually drunk. You don't want to be drunk in the spirit where you're just clouded with crazy thoughts. That's not beneficial. To yourself, to your salvation. All right. But that was a beautiful point that if you being drunken and all of these things, to the wicked doctrines that this devil is out here pushing, the Lord is out here to sober you up with the scriptures. That's beautiful.
Hey, let me get this word out. It's sober. It's on our etymology, sober. It says moderate in desires or actions, habitually temperate or restrained. So, would you read that? You still got that? It said the end of all things is at hand.
1 Peter 4:7.
Therefore, be sober.
Yeah.
So it's telling you to what? Be moderate in your desires and your actions. All right, what it say?
I got it.
It's temperate in all things.
Corinthians.
In Corinthians, it tell you to what? To be moderate in your desires and actions, man. And it says also to be calm, quiet, and not overcome by emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
You was getting that. Oh, you didn't want to get that, Peter?
No, you good. I had quoted it.
Con. Get that. Anybody had the Matthew?
I got the Matthew.
So
Matthew 6.
yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, I got that.
So no. Let me get the Philippians. Then we're gonna do Matthew 6.
This is Philippians 3 and verse 13. It says, "Brethren, I account not myself to apprehend,
Mm-hmm.
but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before."
Con. Leaving those things behind and reaching for the things that is in front of us. All right. Again, Apostle Paul, give the beautiful analogy of this being a race, and everything dealing with the race, man. You have to keep your eyes forward. All right. And every other analogy that the Lord gives you with reaching the kingdom is keeping your eyes on a narrow path, walking a narrow path. All right. And not looking back, not worrying about anything, and then the scripture that popped in my head, remember Lot's wife. All right. That short, simple scripture holds a lot of weight, and people don't seem to think about that like it. All right. But, you gotta, in that situation of Lot's wife, she longed for and desired, their life that they had in Sodom and Gomorrah. She was reminiscent, and just like how Eve is now, Eve got her sodomite friends and, so on and so forth. And, they'll never leave, any type of relationship like that willingly, or leave the things that they have behind them, that they thought was so good. They'll never walk away from that. So that's why Lot's wife was that example, and what was her recompense of longing and looking back? She was turned into a pillar of salt. You know, the Lord zapped that ass. You know, but
Well, I got a personal scripture for you too.
kind of jump down in that Philippians 3, I think it's 16. Our conversation.
Philippians
3 and 16. Was it 20?
It's wrong, like 20. Yeah, 16, 20, that earlier.
Yeah, okay. Philippians 3 and verse 20, it says, "For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we walk for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach."
So again, you know, that's why our mind is, all right? Our mind is on our heaven, all right? Our kingdom, okay? We don't want to get caught up in this world, because the moment you get caught up in the snares out here, man, again, you're going to die, all right? That's the quickest way to put a target on your head is getting caught up with this Babylon juice, you know? But you say you had something, Kashab?
Yeah, I got one too.
Okay. Then after y'all get y'all thing, Matthew.
This is Luke chapter 9, verse 62. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh.
No man putting his hand to the plow, all right? And that plow, you know, is can't think of the word, similar to work, all right? No man doing the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and you can't take your hands off of this thing, all right? Because the moment you take your hands off of this thing and try to go back and have some fun, you know, for that little time, for that little season, all right, the Lord would deem you unworthy of receiving that crown, you know, being of the elect.
But that goes with your mindset too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looking back into the things of the world, man. All right, you come into this truth, you understand the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from on high, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and these demons creep in, and you start to look back. You know, it's like, oh well, if I go do this, and then I can still try to do the truth. Your mindset fucked up, man. Huh? Yeah, he was talking what I was saying, you know?
Yeah, you doing the, you know, the work, and then you just like,
yeah. You look back and you see a beautiful house, a 3-story mansion. They got a bag of money sitting on the front door, but behind the house they got a burning fire door. But you don't see the fire because your mindset fucked up.
Right.
You know, you let the demons play on your mind. You see, and that's another thing too, which the brother gonna get that in Matthew 6 is gonna go beautifully. You know, because when you serving the Lord, hey man, we don't got time to look back for the things of the world because we know what's finna happen.
And we know what's in front of us.
We know what's in front of us. Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
Well,
y'all got it.
If I can add to you too, you know, brothers, I love to bring vivid thoughts, vivid pictures. You know, that was the example of looking back and being distracted. If anything is Matrix.
Yeah.
When Neo with the bitch with the red dress.
I gotta go watch that, brother.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that since I was a child.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch that. That hit so hard. But you know, Neo, you know, walking with Morpheus as they walking through the street, and then, you know, as dull everything is out there, all of a sudden it's a red dress, a white woman with a red dress walking, and obviously that's gonna catch your eye.
Yeah.
So once you look, and then, you know, he's looking at the woman and so on and so forth, he looked back forward and had a gun to his face.
Yeah.
Like that's how it can happen to you, you know. So, but again, you know, to wrap that full circle, you know, spiritually, you know, if you're doing the work of the Lord, man, you know, your eyes need to stay focused and straight. You know, keep your eyes set, have tunnel vision, you know, as brothers like to say.
You really need to be looking circumspectly as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that straight represents the straight and narrow. You know, you locked in, but as a man of the Lord, you could be looking circumspectly while you locked in, man. You know.
Yep, and that's, you know, that's part of us being on our watch.
Yep.
All right, because if you're thinking about being on your watch, you know, we're not talking about just being a robot that you just boom. Like obviously, it's pretty much keeping your head on the swivel. That's the best way to put it, you know. And in terms that we know out here with football and sports, you know, and what keep your head on the swivel means is being aware of everything around you. All right, because the moment that you take your eyes off of something, you'll get smashed. You know, but somebody
We had the Matthew 6.
Matthew 6 kind.
I had something first though.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
It's 1 John 2 verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Love not the world,
Con.
neither the things that are in the world.
Yep.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
The love of the Father is not in him. All right, so you know that's how you choose your side. You know, of who you dealing with. You know, are you serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? Are you serving Esau Edom? All right, and you know we know Esau Edom can't do a damn thing for you. Okay, because even if Esau Edom is doing it for you, it's the Lord having Esau Edom do it for you. Right. So the Lord is just that puppet master overall anyway. But again, you know, even though the Lord playing with people's minds like that, he still can weed you out of giving your every desire to fulfill a great life here in this world. But you know, ultimately you have to use the wisdom to know that, all right, it's a gag to this. All right, there's something is up with this. This is too good to be true. All right, and you know, pretty much you gotta hate this world, man. And like the brother brought up before in the Corinthians, you know, we use this world. We don't abuse it. We don't get caught up with none of these things out here. You know.
All right, so for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
You know, read all of them again. The lust of the
okay. Yeah, it said for all that in the world that's in the world, the lust of the flesh.
Let's stop right there. The lust of the flesh. Okay, so we know that's part of the curses that we have to deal with right now. All right, we you know, if Jake, well, we could just put the example of the 2/3. 2/3 of our people is given off to the lust of their flesh, of doing whatever they want. All right, and it's not leading them anywhere beneficial. You know, it's ultimately leading them to the destruction that the Lord has ordained to them in the book of was that Zechariah? What the 1/3 and the 2/3?
Yeah.
13. Kind. But yeah, just that being said, you know, that the giving up to the flesh,
The lust of the flesh.
the lust of the flesh, you know. But read the next one.
Yeah, it said, and the lust of the eyes.
The lust of the eyes, you know. So, you know, don't get it twisted. This is a hellhole that we're in, but this, you know, still the Lord's creation. You know, everything that's around here. So things, you can get caught up with the beauty of this place sometimes. You know.
Yeah, because all the words promote. It's your fleshly desires. You know what I'm saying? And then basically tell you to indulge in it. You know, well, that's where we go wrong at, man. You know, today, man, most of the things that's being promoted as well is against the Lord.
Right. And you know, you brothers can't sit here and cap that, you know, back early in the world when we was little boys, you know, back when we had the flip phones and everything and couldn't imagine an iPhone or cars driving itself, back then in the world, you seeing things like that and you like, oh man, I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait to the Jetsons, flying cars and shit like that. Back to the Future, the DeLorean, you know, all of these things happening, you know. So us growing up, you know, spiritually and arising and departing out of this thing, you know, believe that once before that, you know, Jake had the utmost want to live here. To make the best of everything, you know, to give to our every worldly dream that we could ever think of. You know, that was once, you know, in all of our heads at some point in time. But the Lord got us out of there. You know? But continue on.
It said, and the pride of life.
The pride of life. And we ultimately know that pride is the one of the most hateful things of the Lord. The Lord hates pride in men. All right? And that's, again, what this world offers. This is what Esau Edom offers you, to have that pride and be your own man, you know, be your own God, you know, do all of these things that you don't need the Lord no more. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It's like that's too loud and not what
It said it's not of the Father, but is of the world.
No, it's not of the Father, but it is of this world. All right, and that's why when you started that again?
15.
All right, yeah, that's why he tells you not to love the world. All right, because again, it is not of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. None of these things that is going on around here is fitting with the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know?
I got that word lust.
Con, you got it.
This that word lust. I'm gonna read it in the NLT too. This that word lust is G1939 Epitomia. It says a desire, a craving, a longing for or desire for what is forbidden.
Hey, I'm gonna let you. I just wanted to see. I wanted to get a precept for that.
God. That's not good.
Read that again.
To back that up too.
Can I read that again, Baba?
It says a desire, a craving, a longing, or desire for what is forbidden.
And brothers, I think one of the best words in there that I could understand a lot is craving. You know, because brothers, you know, automatically you go from craving is like, man, I'm craving for something sweet.
Yeah.
I got a sweet tooth, man. I'm craving for some water. I'm craving for something, you know, something that I feel like I really need. Some buns, you know. Jay craving to clap something, you know, but.
Yeah.
You know, that's
men, brother.
Men, yeah. But that's the example behind it, you know. But craving for something that is, what do you say, forbidden? Forbidden. So that's the no-no zone. That's the no-no.
Yeah, because it's forbidden because, you know, I tell you, man, to seek any worldly gains, you know, so you try to gain more and more worldly things, you got to, man, sacrifice, man.
Yeah.
You got to sacrifice yourself, man. Then, first and foremost, man, you got to denounce the Lord.
Yeah. Hey, when you start to sacrifice things for the world, you start to sacrifice less for the truth.
Yeah, he worship Esau, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which he the ruler.
Yeah.
You know.
So if I could just add to you again, you know, with the forbidden and the craving, you know, the longing for, you know, all of these things right here, it makes you exercise what? Discipline. So that's why you have to have that physical and ultimately spiritual discipline, you know, to please the Lord. All right, because a lot of these things, again, what the brother was reading in that
more. One more verse.
What the brother was reading in the 1 John, is that John?
1 John 2.
Yeah, in the 1 John, Slack it.
Yeah.
Damn, let's start all that. Slack, let it pass. Slack. It was I was speaking of the lust.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. It's given of this world. It's not given from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
I was gonna say that, brother.
Oh, God, Salaki.
You got it?
Yeah. Oh no, he said he had a precept to. You want that?
You had more, right?
Yeah. First.
Yeah. You gotta read that.
Okay. It's 1 John 2:17. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
I
got that in NLT.
Good.
There's 1 John 2:15 in NLT. It says, "Do not love the world, nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions." And that's exactly what the world offers, brother.
Yes.
The physical things, the things that we can literally see, things that people actually get. We watch them get it. We watch them get awards. We watch them get money. We watch them get nice cars, nice houses.
Which is actually, in reality, is vanity. It's because all of it just comes straight to an end, brother. It's just the end of it.
Yeah. That's by us having that spiritual eyes.
Yeah.
We can say, man, not only that, we can say the evil intentions behind that.
Exercising the skill of discernment.
Yes, brother.
You know?
Man, we on different social media. We see these things. But we see the evil intention of it, man. You know what I'm saying?
And not only do we see them, but sometimes they could be like, man, I want that. You know? Yeah. Be in the flesh, brother. Be real. Hey, man, I want that. That brother driving, man, this nigga driving a Benz. I don't like to drive a Benz. You know?
I was thinking about, things I needed to do as far as like paying bills, trying to make daily bread, trying to survive and stuff like that. And here it is, Shaq and 2 Chainz are arguing about who got the best Cybertruck
with the most, you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
most aftermarket stuff and all this kind of like, God damn, Lord, give me, I need $5.
All of these things, brother. It's on so many different levels. Brothers was fellowshipping the other day, and
That's right.
we watching everything with the NFL draft, and prior to that, I was watching the little videos with Deion Jr. when they be doing the videos with Shador and them. But they showing all their chains and shit that they got, and they bought something for the little sister, and they're talking about that's about 30,000 on her neck.
Yep.
And it was like, this the little one, and then I got $1 million, right? Shit, and it's like, man, y'all just playing with this at some point in time.
Fucking Rolls Royces and fucking Cullinans, Lambos and shit.
All
man.
of that, brother.
You know?
What do it really profit you? Like,
Yeah, which it don't, which we
and
understand.
it ain't real. That shit ain't real.
It's all it is a physical pleasure, brother.
Yeah.
It's
Part of
something,
life, man.
there's something that's pleasing to the eye, and that they can float and gaunt, But in an answer, man, Esau take that shit from you, man.
Yeah.
As we clearly seen what happened with him,
Yeah.
Another thing, once you die, whatever. What was the meaning in investing in all that? Because when we investing and we work towards follow us to after that, man.
Yeah. I got a little bit more in the NLT.
Yeah.
It's back in 1 John 2:16, I'll read from the top again. In the NLT, it says, "For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does what pleases the Most High will live forever."
Yeah.
That's heavy, bro.
That's big old gun smoke right there.
Boy, that's heavy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, people think, just because they obtain these things, they make them saying they good people, man. Law-abiding citizens, man.
Yeah.
So really, it makes you nothing, man. But yet, the law said at the end, he that do the will of the Most High, we go abide forever, man.
That's right.
We go, we go live forever. Right, man. Some elect, they not gonna teach death. Oh, man, some elect, man, it might be mortals.
If we do it, we cool with it, man.
We'll be the first to obtain eternal life.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I
Make a
want
point.
to make a point right
Yeah,
there. Because what does all those things profit you when you don't even know who the fuck you is?
Come on, man.
You don't even know who your power is.
Yep.
You don't know your heritage. You don't know where you come from. You don't know yourself.
Yeah.
Bro. You just gaining how I can say it, vanity or the things that's gonna perish. You don't even know you're an Israelite. Bro. Go ahead.
Well, Solomon said it.
Yeah, I'm about to get it.
You about to get it?
Oh, yes.
Kind, brother. He said, Solomon said it, man. Solomon had everything your heart could desire. And he said, all of it's still vanity and vexation of spirit, man. It don't mean shit, man. And that's why we content with what we have, man. Tell you when 1 Timothy 6, I think it's 1 Timothy 6:12, that godliness with contentment is great gain, man.
That's a mindset we gotta have, man. To where only thing we want and only thing we need is the Lord to be with us, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because as long as the Lord's with us, man, He gonna give us what we need.
That's it, bro. It says
everything else gonna follow.
In that Matthew 6 you seek ye
33.
first the kingdom, and all these things shall be added unto you, man.
Did you bring up the other?
To man, we gonna see.
Other Matthew 6.
The back up, but we gonna see certain benefits of the world. To what we need, not what we want. You know what I'm saying? Because things that we want, man, might be destruction to us, man.
Yeah.
So Lord gonna give us what we need. To where even to a point where, man, while all this shit be over with, man, He gonna give us what we need and what we want, man. Better than this, sir.
Before we even utter the words.
Yeah. That's a great feeling, man. I know Jake remember those feelings where we used to celebrate Christmas and shit like that, and then everything that you wrote down on your Christmas list was right there underneath that tree, and so on and so forth. Just that feeling of like, damn, I wanted it and I got it. You know what I'm saying? But again, the Lord have us exercising this discipline right now to be content and maintain what we have right now, because everything that He's given us right now is obviously good for us. Okay, it's good for us to keep on pushing and continue going to fulfill the duties that He wants us to do. All right, and again, backing up the beautiful point that you just made, and after that, after this world is to pass away, and our kingdom is to come, he's going to give us everything that we want and everything. He's going to give us everything we need and everything we want, as the brother just said.
Feel our heart desire.
Everything, yeah. God. You got you, Nahoy.
Yeah, it's gonna back y'all up. It's gonna back up everything y'all was saying. Like I'm about to see this Colossians 3 and I start at 2. I'll start at 1, but I'm gonna start at 2 and I'm gonna read it in the NLT.
Start at 1.
Start at 1. Come. I read in the KJV. If ye be then risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High.
Stop right there. That's what we need to be. Again, we need to be spiritually dead. All right? As the elder,
not spiritually dead.
No, my bad, Salaki. Salaki. We need to be dead to the world. Salaki. Yeah. I don't know what the hell I can say. Yeah, Salaki. We need to be dead to this world, all right? And I was just about to go into another point, but the elder, well, that would have been fucked up because I was going to say the elder right after that. But the elder, tell us, we got to have that righteous, don't give a fuck spirit of it, because the moment that you start caring about these things is not going to lead you to nowhere good, all right? But, again, having that righteous, I don't care, if it's not anything benefiting to your spiritual mind, to you obtaining your crown, man, it doesn't matter, so that's why you need to be dead to those things, be numb to this shit,
That's a good point.
Yeah, because everything come and go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, but who will always be there? The Lord and His Word.
Yeah.
That's just simple and plain. That's why I said
Stand
again.
forever.
Yeah, stand forever. That's why, the only thing we need and that we want is the Lord to be with us, man.
Yeah. And not only that, when shit really starts to go south, you think it's going south right now.
Right.
All the complaining,
yeah.
The anguish, the state, the mind state that people are in right now. Well, just wait till it gets much worse.
Yeah.
But we already in that mindset. Oh, we don't give a fuck about none of this shit.
Right.
So when we start losing, it's like, oh, we closer to the kingdom.
That's why the Lord tell you. He tell you that it's harder for a rich man to enter to the kingdom of heaven.
He said it's easier for what he said a camel
through the eye of a needle. Yeah. And that's tough. That's tough because again, the Lord explaining that and telling you that it's hard for a rich man to enter to the kingdom. Why? It's because he has so many desires of his riches. It's hard for him to give up, that Lambo. That you think Rick Ross and all of them won't give up them cyber trucks that we was talking about, these mini mansions, the Wingstop that he owned, all this life that he's been building and planting here in Babylon. You think he want to give that up easy? The answer is no, man. But you can continue on. You got more than that, Norris?
Yeah, I know.
You got something you want to say on that, or you good?
Nah. That's a lot. Because I had wanted to read it in the NLT.
Huh.
I'm going to start at 2. In the NLT, it says, think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Hamashiach in the Most High. And when the Hamashiach, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all His glory. So put the sinful, and this is going to go into what y'all brought out earlier, that word going into your cravings.
The lust.
That's
what it was, the word lust.
Yeah, this was going to go into verse 5. So put to death the sinful, earthly things lurking within you. Have nothing to do with sexual immorality, impurity, lust, and evil desires. Don't be greedy, for a greedy person is an idolater worshiping the things of this world. Because of these sins, the anger of the Most High is coming.
Gone. And again, just harping on that point, man. Flee, man. It's not going to do you no good of attaching to anything. Because what's your favorite quote?
Yeah, prepare to lose or prepare to be burnt up with it.
Gone. prepare to be burnt up with it. If you want to hold on to this, you gonna like Bean said too. You either gonna get down or lay down. You know how you gonna go? You got it, bro.
And I was about to say, because at the end of that verse, it says, for a greedy person is an idolater, worshiping the things of this world.
Yes.
Now look, now let me get this, Matthew 6:24.
Let me sit because
Okay,
I need to say something about that.
Go ahead,
brother, because
Say it, bro.
listen, brother.
Yes, bro.
So because when you start to seek these things, and let's say Satan actually give you one, what starts the inkling? Oh, I can actually obtain it. So what you start to do, you get greedy.
Yeah.
And when you start to get greedy, you completely forget about the Lord, and you just going and indulging in what you working to get towards, and what it goes all the way to what you worshiping idols now.
Yep.
You see, that's it.
I had got this to back this up. Salaki.
Okay, yeah.
Salaki.
I get it. I get
Go
it.
ahead.
I get it. But yeah, because it said, I'm gonna say it one more time.
You got Matthew 6.
Yeah, 6:24.
Yeah, because
Start at
Like
6
James
and 19. But did you?
Oh yeah.
I got a James
Oh,
4.
yeah.
James 4. Yeah,
Bring it
he
up.
was holding the 19, right?
Yeah, he was holding it earlier.
No, also, I got the
Yeah,
Matthew
you got
8.
to start at 19 in that. Yeah.
Yeah. This,
Yeah, 19.
hit that Matthew.
Yeah, and that Colossians in the last verse, Colossians 3 and 5 in the NLT, at the end of that verse, it says, worshiping the things of this world. All right? And then this Matthew 6 and 4 gonna back it up. It says, you want me to start at 19, brother?
Yes.
Verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Stop right there. Yeah. So again, we know what happened. If you put your money into these banks out here in America, you put your money in these 401ks and so on and so forth. It's been many examples in history of where the banks took people money. So if there's examples of that, but there's no examples of your spiritual funds being messed with, that the Lord ever took away those things that he gave you for your well-being, but continue on.
It says, verse 21.
Salaki, the last part, where your heart is. Read
Yeah,
that.
that's all.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
God, wherever you locked in at, man. If you locked in with the upbringing out here and wanting more and more, this is where your heart is going to be at. This is where your mindset is going to lay at. All right, but if you lay those treasures up in heaven, if you keep your minds on spiritual things, that's where your mind is going to be at.
Verse 22, it says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if that, you want to say something right there?
Yeah, keeping your eyes single, man. As brothers was talking about, having that spiritual tunnel vision. That's what's keeping your eyes single, keeping your eyes on the prize. Needless to say.
It says, verse 23, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
Yeah. If it's like if you not concerning yourself with the right things, again, it's going to just lead you to destruction. It's a simple, for us, it seemed like it's supposed to be simple to the world, but that's a simple equation that, man, either you keep your eyes on this or you keep your eye on that. That way is destruction. That way is going to everlasting life. Plain and simple.
It says, if therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? But this is the point I wanted to get to back up that Colossians about, the worshiping. All right. This verse 24, it says, no man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. So whichever one your desire is after, that's who your God becoming. that's who your God become. You gotta pick one though. It can't be both.
Yeah, you gonna worship the Heavenly Father, or you gonna be an idolater,
Yeah,
brother.
that's it.
That's it.
And if you want to, put it in another, way of thinking, you got to think that Esau, Edom, and the Lord right now, they both lay these things in front of you, getting all of your desires. All right, one is on the left hand side, and one is in full righteousness.
Yeah, spiritual demon Satan.
Con. So again, all of these things that you can go ahead and, again, brothers brought out the examples already of just fulfilling that white picket fence, out here in America, or your crown, man. Because your crown, ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the biggest flex that we're gonna ever get, man. So why mess up that opportunity just for a little season of folly? You could grab that with in Hebrews when they tell you about Moses. Instead of
11 and 26.
Con.
24 might be 24.
Go ahead, you got it.
Because James 4 verse 4, ye adulterers and adulteress,
Mm-hmm.
know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High.
God, you're an enemy of the Most High, man. All right, and that's one side of the gun you don't want to be on. All right, because he do not miss. He will not miss. Okay, he can't miss. Overall,
Yeah, 100% from the field, bro.
100% from the field. Everybody that he touched has dropped. If he wanted that body, he got that body. Him concerning all the things of life and death, as it says in the scriptures.
Y'all want to say, what makes you the adulterer and adulteress is that, hey, man, us according to Jeremiah 6, us being women unto the Lord, yeah, basically, hey, man, you fornicate, man. Spiritually, man, by these false doctrines, man, the ways of this world. What's that's against, the Lord, man. Our husband. So basically, by you partaking these things, you're a harlot.
Hey,
That's what the Lord hate, man.
You got something, brother?
That's what makes you the enemy of the
Damn,
Most High,
man, I was
man.
just trying to get it. Shit.
Oh,
shit.
But just backing you up, the Lord also mentioned, again, when you're talking about the example of the Lord having us as the women, the Lord describes us when he pissed off with us as the adulterous nation. All right, so ye adulterous nation, again, what does that mean? Going into these different idols, these different philosophies.
Oh,
that
brother,
brother was just saying. Go ahead, brother.
It's real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Salaki, bro, but y'all just saying the same exact. It's gonna back y'all up.
Go ahead,
Watch.
bro. Go ahead.
Okay.
You
This Psalm's 106 and 34. Okay, it says they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord Yahweh commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. And I'm gonna jump to right here, verse 39. It says, "Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions, man." Yeah. So we became a whore, because Israel likened to that comely and delicate woman, like you said, Jeremiah 6 and 2. All right, so we became harlots. It say we went a whoring, man.
You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, we supposed to remain that chaste virgin, man. I'll tell you, man, your house shot, man. We're supposed to follow the ways of him, having that one husband.
If I could back you up too, if you look earlier in the scriptures too, the Lord really didn't want us to deal with any other nation. Yeah. He gave us everything that we need, man. You got 12 tribes that you can deal with. Deal with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew. Huh?
Flavors, brother.
Yeah, flavors. We got the best flavors at that. So like real quick. And within that, the Lord knew ultimately that why did he want us to deal with just our nation? Because once we start dealing with these other nations, we're gonna go off. All right, but ultimately it was still the will, is part of the story, it had to happen. But believe that the Lord did at once upon a time want us to stick with our nation.
But that's always been the plan. Yeah, it was never. You got different accounts. Esdras, who's the other? I think it was maybe was it Elisha? I know it's Nehemiah. It was Nehemiah too. That's what I don't know what I'm thinking about. Listen, with Nehemiah, that when they found out that they was mixing the seed among the nations, they was pissed.
Yeah.
That just rent his head, man. He rent his head, brother. He was pulling his head.
Yes.
In Nehemiah, I think it's around the 13th chapter, it talks about the children not being able to speak Hebrew, but they could speak their mother's language. You know what I'm saying? Then they had to, basically, separate, you know what I'm saying? Separate them and stuff like that, man. You know.
You want to say something?
Oh yeah, I want to say too. Yeah, then you got to realize, hey, the Lord said he was jealous power.
Yeah.
He's jealous over his woman. You know.
That
So hey, that's why, hey man, Lord angered that, hey man, these jakes, man, hey, pertaining the things of this world. That's against him, man. You know. Just imagine, hey man, you have an enemy with some called dude, just for your woman, hey, to have sex with him, man.
Yeah, brother, just watching that video the other day, Nahoya, with the dude, and like she was sucking rod while he was
Get that word,
at
man.
work.
Come on.
In his house.
In my house.
In my house. So brothers obviously know that physical pain right there, you know, and that's what the Lord puts us with, dealing with other nations' powers, which is not even truly powers, you know. But go ahead.
Yeah, like man, I got odds. Like Lord got odds with these heathen nations, man. Especially Esau, Edom.
You got the biggest art with you.
Yeah, the devils, Esau, Edom, the so-called white men in the scriptures.
You red devil.
Yeah, man. Just see us, hey man, partaking his ways, man. You know, being side by side by him, man. That angers the Lord. You know, that's why he made an enemy, man.
What scriptures say he's angry with the wicked every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day.
Yep.
Not a day goes by that the Lord not angry with the wicked, man. You know? Got it out.
Yeah. It's gonna get it all, brother.
Nah, I was just going to backing up you guys on Israel, being likened unto a woman with the house of the shot. It's Isaiah 54, and we start at verse 4. It says, "Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame for thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood any more." Verse 5, "For thy maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called." Right, so, just backing up the brother saying, hey, the Israelites are what? Likened unto a woman. And what does it, when the Israelites, sin, go off, transgress against Yahweh Shema Shai, you're committing a spiritual adultery, I'm going to read one more verse. Verse 6, it says, "For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth. When thou was refused, said thy power." So, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures teach you. Israel has, basically forsaken, Yahweh Shema Shai, you know what I'm saying? And basically the fountain of living waters. They tell you that, I believe it's Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, man. Yeah, that's
Grab that real quick, Noe.
It's Sirach 25:2. It says, "Three sorts of men my soul hated, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that doted."
If that doesn't describe Israel to a T right now, along with many other people in this world, but we're focusing on Israel, come on, man. Go through the list again, Baba Kisha.
A poor man that is proud.
A poor man is proud. These our people are haughty in a poor man's body. A poor man's world. And that's ridiculous. Brothers out here hurting and want to get the hell out of here. People out here hurting and still want this place to go on. And that's ridiculous. But what's the next one?
Yeah, we our people, bro, they own literally nothing,
right.
And they happy, brother.
Yep.
What it said, Haggai 1:6, our bags, we got the bags with holes.
Yep.
you know, we can't get nowhere here.
So much.
But
greater,
yet,
little.
yes, brother, but yeah, we got the nerve to be proud, brother.
Right.
That's insane when you think about it.
The Lord said He greatly offended at that.
Greatly offended.
offended.
Because hey, bro, we supposed to be kings and we the lowest of the low
Yeah, and proud though.
and proud. That's wild.
Yeah.
But it says a poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar,
Yep.
and the old adulterer that doted.
All right. That rich man, that's a lie. You know, that's pretty much plain and simple. But the really the point to harp on is what he said. The adultery.
An old adulterer that doted.
Yeah, adultery that do it. All right. So, you know, somebody that's willingly in
You know
love.
too much. But that's where you go to where doer means obsessive.
Yeah, obsessive. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
I
Everybody,
got that right here.
go grab it real quick.
It says a dote, D-O-T-E, the verb. It says to behave irrationally or do foolish things, be or become silly or deranged, to be feeble-minded from age,
Come.
or foolish, out of one's mind.
Come. Out of your mind. You know, Jake is out of their wits, you know, for adultery in this world, man. So, you know, it's just something like the brother said, you know, it's excessive. You know, they are adultery on every shape or form, whether it's actually committing adultery with another man's wife or, you know, adultery of following Islam. That fall under fornication, Salaki. But, you know, following Islam, Buddhism, you know, Christianity with Jesus Christos, you know, that's something that, you know, again, our people, you know, do to a max here in this captivity, man. You know. Nah, and then that's the West too, so we about to catch all of that until about the next.
Good on that side.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've been sweating.
Yeah, just turn that. I'm just turn the camera.
Con. Salakia watching. We just about to flip the camera and get out this sun.
Well, we good.
You got a precept?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is kind of going back into what we were talking about earlier. You know, the powerful men being covetous, being basically greedy for gain. You know what I'm saying? The wanting of the whole world. You know, this is Sirach 10 and verse 9. It says, "Why is earth and ashes proud? This is not a more wicked thing. There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man." So a man that just wants what? He wants everything that he can have that's temporal within the world. Greedy. He's greedy for gain. You know what I'm saying? And he'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. You know? But it reads on, it says, "For such and one setteth his own soul to sale." And that's what we're seeing, right? From the different people in the world, right? You want to, you know, profit within the world. You basically got to sell your soul to Esau, Edom in order to get those things, to achieve those riches, you know? Yeah. And it says, "Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels," right? So, you know, like we were saying, man, earlier, you know, these different, you know, going into the different entertainers, sports guys, musicians, and, you know, business people, right? You know what I'm saying? They basically got to sell their soul to Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying, to basically have that Benz, you know what I'm saying, or that house, you know what I'm saying, or the land, you know? You got it.
This Mark 8 verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Yeah, what should it profit you? All right, and the answer to that is nothing. All right, you won't get nowhere of selling your soul here just to make it here in Babylon. All right, in which it's a unwise decision on so many levels. You know, specifically and mainly of this not being our kingdom. You know, in something greater to come. You know, But ultimately, again, it's what brothers also like to say too. It's a bad investment. All right, you're investing into a burning building. All right, you paying top dollar for a building that is literally burning and falling right now. All right, in any type of way that doesn't make sense. Okay, so again, what brothers brought out with that Matthew 6, that's why we're putting, our spiritual currency, and we're investing. We're in the fucking devil. We invest in, our time, with this work.
Niggas just get right there and just start laughing crazy.
Yeah, they yelled out something.
It's some dumb shit.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, that's why.
Fucking slavery.
Yeah, fucking devils. But yeah, that's why, again, while we putting our time and our mind, to our spiritual bank account that the Lord has for us in heaven.
Verse 5, 35.
Come, good.
Because 8, this Mark 8, verse 35. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel, the same shall save it.
Yeah, if you think that you're gonna save your life out here following Esau Edom, it's not gonna happen. All right, brother could grab that in Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah.
What you go?
Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
30.
Yeah,
Gone. Yeah, and then what's the second part?
It said, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel, the same shall save it.
Gone.
Go down, jump. You read that too.
Okay. Verse 38.
No,
I read it.
I think it's in Matthew. It might be the same one that's in Matthew.
16.
But just to, read that again, Bobby. Sure.
Okay, it said, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel, the same shall save it.
Gone. If you lose your life for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you're going to gain. All right. Where did you ever hear that before? You lose your life for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you're going to gain. All right. And that could go, again, if you're doing the work, if you're doing everything righteous, doing everything, of the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that's physically and spiritually. Okay. Because again, we know, again, some brothers is going to be martyred. Some brothers is going to have to, taste death, in order to receive the kingdom, But it also too, spiritually, being dead in this world, as brothers have been saying. All right, losing their life, being, a lame, being fools for Hamashiach's sake. All right, that's pleasing unto the Lord.
Yeah, not having no status or not being, fully rich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we took all that, say, hey, to be a part of this ministry, man. Preach the word.
And then also too, it tells you that if you're ashamed of doing the work, or if you're ashamed of the
we got it right here, yeah.
That's what holding book up for you, brother.
Yeah.
That's why I was doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like it.
It's Mark 8, verse 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation.
In the adulterous and sinful generation. So, Lord, basically saying, how the fuck you been ashamed of me? Yeah. And you living in a generation full of adultery and wickedness that's immersed.
Yep.
It's fully submerged in wickedness, brother.
Yeah.
But you ashamed of me? That's an insult to the Lord, man.
So,
It said, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be ashamed of you, You're ashamed of me, I'm going to be ashamed of you. But why do you want your power to be ashamed of you? Just for you slapping his hand away when he's doing everything to bring you back into him.
Trying to save you.
Trying to save you, yeah.
Yeah, then you gonna be ashamed of your own self, man.
Right.
In the kingdom.
Yeah. That's why I tell you again in that Daniel 12 that some people are gonna wake up to everlasting shame. God damn.
I got that other one for you.
Yeah, go ahead. You got
It's
it.
Matthew 16.
Yeah.
16 and 27, it says, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works.
Yeah, that's a scripture that became a favorite, again, rewarding every man according to his works.
Especially that one in Revelation.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This
That's what I
Matthew 16. But I brought this out because this is the same one that goes to Mark 8 when it said, for what shall a man profit? In exchange for his soul, he gained the world.
Yeah.
But right after that verse, it tell you that the Lord is coming with his angels and to reward every man according to his work.
Yeah.
So when you exchange these things for your soul, all right, and which is no profit to you, you know, all is gonna lead you with death and destruction, man. You see? So it says, and then he shall reward every man according to his work. So those that exchange their souls, all right, made an allegiance with Satan, all right, they're gonna get their reward, man. You know? But you wanna make your point out?
Oh yeah, I want to say too, hey, that's why, hey man, a lot of these jakes, they trying to, hey, they trying to work toward to receive that reward of Esau. You know what I'm saying? They trying to please Esau, but yeah, for us, hey, we trying to please the Lord. You know, hey, we doing what we gotta do, hey, do all the works, hey, we preaching the word, we forsaking everything in this world. So, hey man, to be pleasing to you, how about you, man, son? And then, because at the end of the day, man, he the one that's go, hey, grant us, either life or death in the time to come in that judgment seat, man.
Yeah. We all must appear.
That's one day people, yeah. I want to say that's one day people, hey man, the white man, the white man can't grant that, man. You know? The white man ain't gonna save him that day.
Man, that's insane, bro. God damn.
You caught me. You know I'm about to start sweating around this bitch. God damn.
They running from the sun, man.
You got it. Yeah, go ahead.
Just going into what we go through in order to receive the crown. This is James 1 and verse 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." So yeah, man, on the flip side of the coin, the brothers, within the truth, right, going out on the highways and hedges, doing the work of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, to the best of their capability. You know what I'm saying? We walk this line, and we attempted to, like the brother was saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? There'd be certain things we kind of, want in the world, but not necessarily need. But it said what? It said endure temptation, man. So we gotta go through those trials too as well, man.
I got one too. Yeah, back of it. Okay. This Luke 22 verse 28. Which Yahweh Shah speaking. It said, "Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I will appoint unto you a kingdom as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on the thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel." That's right, man. So, hey, by us, and during those temptations, man, hey, we being tempted, hey, man, to forsake the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, obtain this world. But yeah, hey, man, we forsaking that, man. Hey, man, we rebuking that. Right. No, hey, we tell you, man, we move out. We are able to endure those temptations, man. Hey, remain in the Lord, man. Remain in His truth. Hey, Yahweh Shah said, "You go grant." Hey, by us doing that, man, by us remaining in His presence, man, He gonna grant us, hey, man, the kingdom. And same day, man, Yahweh, grant Yahweh Shah, man. So, hey, man, we could be drinking yan. You know what I'm saying? That one. And we could be joint heirs, man. Where we could be judging these nations, man. Right. And then we could be higher rank in the kingdom too, man. Because that's one thing, it's gonna be ranking the kingdom, man.
You got to elect the governing body.
You gonna be a governing body, man.
So we under Yahweh Shah the head. I had some.
Kyle got more too.
If I could say real quick, the Lord is, again, backing up the brother, it's always gonna be order, That's exactly why we need to get, in with Yahweh Bashim Yahshua to be heirs of the throne, to reinstate order back into the world. All right, because due to the current ruler that we got right now, Esau, the earth is at the lowest that it's ever been,
Yeah, because all J's gonna get the kingdom, man. They can get the benefits. But it's they'll be average though. Hey, we're trying to be above average. You know what I'm saying? The governing body.
You want just a ticket, or do you want a VIP ticket?
VIP ticket.
Come on, man. It's levels to this. So if it's levels to it, and it's ways that you could work to receive, the biggest gift, of all the gifts, because again, it's going to be gifts for everybody. But if you want to receive one of the biggest gifts, you got to put work behind it. But go ahead, you got it.
Verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that ye may sift you as wheat. That's right, man. So, by us knowing that Satan, he tempted us, man. because hey, Satan he already got the people as well. He already got more. You know, so hey, Satan trying to get us. You know, the ones that hey, that's not us fall for.
Hey,
Fall for. You
Satan
know
will
what I'm saying?
catch the big fish, brother.
The big fish, yeah.
The big fish.
You know,
Hey, yeah, I know y'all could relate to this. You know, you remember back in like school, you know, when they had some type of new girl that walked into the school, and everybody went straight for her because everybody didn't know her.
Didn't know her.
Didn't know
She
it.
fresh.
She fresh. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Every girl in school, we know stories about her. We know how this happened and shit like that. But you know, the one that you don't know about, and the one that you know,
It's basically like she been untouched.
yeah, she been untouched. Basically,
Ain't nobody in the class had her.
right.
She knew, like you know, like so everybody won't get that first piece of it.
Right, brother.
Yeah. That's why, hey, that's the point we made earlier. Hey, by us being that woman,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? That spiritual woman. Hey, we're fresh, man. We're being fresh by this word. And hey, Satan, he trying to, hey, man, knock us off. Not that first. They trying to, hey, man, make us that harlot. You know?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what Satan always on a mission to do.
That's what he's trying to shift, yeah. He's trying to shift, man. Which, hey, I think we're going to tell where shift means to agitate. You know what I'm saying? To shake. You know? So, yeah, he saw, yeah, Satan, he trying to use those certain things, you know, happen unto us. Where, hey, man, trials, tribulations, you know, dealing with, hey, taking L's, you know what I'm saying? Chastening, dealing with the chastening.
Satan will bless you too, though.
Yeah. You're distracted, yeah.
If you're looking for something and you're trying to get out of something, Satan will bless you, man.
Yeah, he'll distract.
You know?
Hey, we got examples in Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
They go through all of these rituals
Humiliation rituals.
Yeah.
All these different dumb shit.
to receive all these things, to pray to the left hand side of things and receive everything that you want. You know? But yeah, Jacob.
I got a scripture backing up
Yeah,
exactly
okay.
what you're saying.
Kind of, you got a business.
Yeah, basically, man, see, he try to lure us by these things, man. Trying to lure us in, man, to forsake the Lord, man, to forsake, hey, our husband, you know. But yet,
No, just real quick too, and it tell you in Peter, you know, that Satan is walking around like a lion.
Yeah, see,
like
they made
a
the
lion.
lion,
I'm
yeah.
there. Hold up. If you want it, hold that down. Let him get that. And
Huh.
then
yeah, verse 32 is the last verse. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother. So, hey, man, that's why, hey, man, we're able to, hey, man, to endure these things, man. We're able to continue. Hey, man, how shot, man, he up there praying for us, man. You know, he help us give him the strength by his word. You know,
And that's the ultimate, man, probably one of the biggest motivations that you can get, man. Man, you got to know that somebody's rooting for you, you know, to know that you got, you know, along, you know, with your brothers, but ultimately, you know, our big bro, Yahweh Shai, is rooting for us and praying for us to overcome these things so he could show us everything that he didn't have for us. You know, all of these gifts that he's ready to give to us. Come on, man.
well, I say, man, yeah, Yahweh Shai wants to win. You know what I'm saying? He wants to overcome these things, man.
Yeah.
So hey, that's why, hey, by us brothers being fully converted to this thing, hey, we gotta strengthen each other.
Yeah.
So hey, man, we're able to, hey, man, to win as well, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're able to continue, man, all the way to the end. That scripture say, man, he that do it to the end, the same shall be saved.
You got it. You get yours real quick. Oh, and then you go ahead with the Peter. You got.
Yeah. It's 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour."
Yeah, seeking to who he may devour. Again, and there go that word sober again. You know, being aware of these things. Okay, so again, and then it gives you the analogy of a lion seeking to devour. All right, so if you get caught up, you know, again lacking, man, that lion is gonna mess you up. All right, and it's gonna mess you up in like the brother said, and possibly in a way of making things good for you. You know, giving you everything of your desire is what that lion is probably going to do to you, which is ultimately going to lead to your destruction at the end of the day. You know.
Matter of fact, I think we went to that word sober means some like emotion, like having no.
Not overcome by emotion.
Overcome by emotions, because hey, man, we come to a time where the end, but hey, man, we gotta detach ourselves. You know what I'm saying? From the things of the world, even our loved ones. You know. So hey, man, we gotta move all emotions, man. Hey, Elder said, he had said earlier before we had to start camp. He already let go all the tears, man. You know what I'm saying?
Family members, people that hold dear to you, hey man, you shed them tears already.
Yeah. But hey, man, Satan might use that, man. The loved one's trying to, hey, man, get you off this square.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a bit of training that you have to do because it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy to see your loved ones and so on and so forth just going down the drain, you know, scoffing against you and so on and so forth. Because every brother came in this thing trying to bring their whole family with them.
Right.
You know, the first thing that when you learn the truth, man, I'm telling my mama, I'm telling my daddy, I'm telling my grandpa, hey, I found it. I found the answer to save us.
All the things that y'all been looking for, I found it.
I found it, but nah, I don't think that's it. Nah, that's a cult. Nah, what that is? Nah. Like, okay, and then after a while, you start to hear that so much, and then obviously you get around, you know, men who've been doing this thing and have done those things before you, you know, who did that exact same thing. They're gonna tell you, yeah, it's at time that you're gonna have to start detaching from it. You know, keep your family in family roles and let them do anything dealing with family stuff. But when it comes to the scriptures and so on and so forth, hey, don't bother. You know, you beating up what they call it, you beating a dead horse. You know, but you want to say something?
Nah, I just got this piece of.
Come on, you got it.
This Matthew 4, I'll start at the top and we'll jump down. Because, our brothers, we was going into it for a minute, on how Satan will bless you, or Satan tempt you, Satan, in which he get permission from the Most High to do it.
Right.
We know that in Job, the second chapter, But this Matthew 4:1, it says, then Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of our power. Then the devil taking him up into the holy city, and seated him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down. No, that's not the one I wanted. This I was supposed to jump to 7. So like this Matthew 4 and 8, it says, again the devil taking him up on an exceeding high mountain, and shewed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So he literally showed him, like, look, I can give you all the kingdoms of the world and the glory that come with it. He look, I'm showing you. This is what I can give you. And you got to think of the mind state that Yahushua was in, 40 days, 40 nights, he on a fast. So these are things that take you, completely out the spirit. Right. This is your tenure in the truth. But Yahushua being the Son of the Most High, all right, being girded up, his loins being girded, him relying on faith, what I'm
I want to say he was sober enough to think of a bigger picture, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. He wasn't overcome by emotion of him being on that fast.
Yeah.
And if I could back you up too, again, of that long of a fast, obviously, as you brother speaking of, you're physically weak in some type of form. All right. So yeah, your thoughts may not be right, but again, the Lord is letting us know as well too. Again, we're going to be put in situations like that. All right. Again, everything that is in the scriptures is an example for us. So again, whether it's a long fast that Satan may come and tempt you, or it may be something else where you might be at your lowest, you might be weak, and Satan is going to come and tempt you. But the Lord gave us the example right there that, man, again, he saw the bigger picture. He know that the next the kingdom to come was going to be his.
There's more.
Go ahead.
It's Matthew 4:9. It says, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Mm-hmm. So I brought this out because you made that you alluded to those Hollywood people.
Yeah.
Which this is how they get they get lured in. Mm-hmm. Well, look, I'll give you this, and this, 500 million, or I'll let you be a star in all of the best movies. Your heart's desire. You see? This is what Satan give you. If you do what? Fall down and worship me. And which they do go and do what? They worship, they literally go and worship Satan, man. Yes. All right? That's why you see him throwing up the hand symbols, all right, throwing up, you know, the bob, the two
up,
down,
down.
two up, you know. That's why you see them doing these type of things, man.
Yeah.
Because they openly telling you, look, I worship Satan now.
Yeah.
You see,
But yeah, that's not gonna benefit him at the end, man.
it's not.
Yeah, because people got to realize hey, Satan works for the Lord.
Yeah.
So even Satan can't grant them, man. Salvation, man. You know, he can't grant them that. So that's why, hey, like that's why Yahushua did what he did. He look at the bigger picture.
He looked at the
To where, hey,
picture.
now not only he gonna be shot, but he gonna rule over them.
He gonna
All those
rule
kingdoms.
over them. Yes.
He gonna take the kingdom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All the 8 kingdoms. He gonna take all the kingdoms, man. You
Yeah,
know?
but it goes to show you the mindset, like we started off with, you know, and being locked in and sober.
And also too the lack of knowledge, because again, you know, people still believe in the world that Satan is his own man,
Yeah.
and he's warring against.
Him and the Most High is in the heavens, just going in the battle.
And they just, you know, which that is not the case. Again, what brother alluded to with Job too, you will see that Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, sits in councils with Yahweh Shem Yahushua to handle business.
Literally having a conversation, brother.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That don't sound like no water to me.
Where
I
you?
think he call him sons. I think he call him sons in the Most High, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, where you been at? Oh, I just been to and fro.
Yeah, son, yeah.
I've been to and fro from the earth.
Yeah, just being a vagabond.
Yeah, you know. But again, these you know, people with the lack of knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they really think again that is an option to just give their life to Satan, and that's how they're just going to win in this entire world, and that's going to be it. That's the end of their story. They chose this, and they win. And you know, if you choose God, then you get the white clouds, and you know. But again, that's not the case, man. All right. At the end of the day, Satan is giving you off to die. He's setting you up.
I got more.
Go ahead.
Let me finish this out real quick. This is Matthew 4:10. It says, Then Yahushua said unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy power. Salakia. Thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So after he rebuked Satan, what he did, he left. Hey, look, I can't get him, Lord. He went back to the Most High. Look, that's your son. I can't get him.
The scripture say, resist the devil. He will
He'll
flee.
flee.
Yeah, because he got obeyed the orders
He
of
got
the
to
Lord,
obey the
man.
orders of the Lord, man.
You know, and that's again, hey, the brother about to get just a little point, but also in this is Job right here. You know, the Lord basically told Satan, do whatever you want to do, but just don't touch his life. Don't kill him. All right? But I'm giving you the green light to go do everything. Go ahead and tempt Job in every which way you want to do. And he did. That's why Job, again, is one of the other big examples of having almost everything, you know, at the time that he was at. Because, again, one of the brothers, Yuanathan brought it a good picture that you got to think Job at that time was like a righteous Warren Buffett, you know. Job had the cattle. He had many people that was working for him, and so on and so forth. Job was the man in the land, you know. And for all of that to start crashing down, you know, your mental is definitely going to be. It's like your mental and your spiritual is going to be tested, you know.
It's Job 1:6. Now there was a day where the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, as Satan came also among them. So that's proof right there, man. Hey, he was called the son. Same way, he was son of the Most High. He didn't say, oh, enemy of the Lord. Or it shows you right there, man, there's no such thing as hell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all is all in one place. They all in the same place, man. In the spirit world.
Hell is a condition.
They 1:6.
Yeah, more on that.
Come on, read more. It's and the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and say, From going to and fro in the earth and walking up down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and cheweth evil? And then Satan answered the Lord, said, Doeth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee unto thy face.
Again, yeah, right there. That just backs up the point. Read that last part when it talks about what he has in the land.
It's, his substance is increased in the land.
His substance is increased in the land. And read the last verse.
But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Cool. I said cool. Job was an example right there of one of the few examples of a rich man that maintained his values, that had integrity. All right. Job is the picture dictionary of integrity. If you see integrity, Job has to be right there, because again, everything that you about to, if brothers read on their own time of what goes on with Job, man, Job had a lot, man. He had to deal with loss of family, loss of money, bodily ailments, and so on and so forth, all for a test of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And ultimately you could crack a joke at it too, that the Lord basically just made a bet.
Satan, yeah.
The Lord, him and Satan was having a bet, and that's what Job had to go through all this for, but he overcame at the end. You got it?
Yeah, it's like a Jake when like say I tell you, hey man, this dude right here, man, he good. And he was like, man, play me.
Yeah.
That's been how Satan was like, man. He was like, man, catch that away from him.
Yeah, let me get at him.
Let me get at him.
Yeah.
I bet you if I start tampering with him, then he gonna curse you. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Lord gave Job over to Satan.
Yeah.
Verse 12. It said, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Said, basically, hey man, the Lord say, hey man, hey, do what you do, but hey, keep his life. Don't kill him. Hey man, take everything away from him, man.
So like, go ahead, brother. Take everything away from him.
Yeah.
No, just finish the point.
And that was it.
Okay. Since we hit Salaki, because this is one of my favorite books. Jump to 2. Just get to the point where what his wife tried to get him to curse the Lord.
Two.
Yeah, 2 verse 2.
So 2 and like 7.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
And 9.
Yeah.
2 and 9. Say, it's Job 2 verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse the Most High and die.
Yeah, mocking him. All right, but Satan is dealing with his wife at this point in time. Yeah. He working through his woman. And brothers also know in the scriptures too is that many men has lost their wits behind women.
Yeah.
All right. So they done lost their wits behind women. They done made bad decisions behind wine. And so on and so forth. But again, Satan pulled the power move right there to come straight to his woman and make her, try to get him to shift. But what they say? Oh, so like
I was gonna say too, but yet, I'm just reading. They'll make my point. It said verse 10. But he said to her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. So that's right, man. So you read Job, hey, back to that word sober. Job was sober enough tonight, man, get caught in his emotions, man.
Yeah.
Of his woman.
Yeah.
To where, man, you say, hey, man, woman, you're a foolish woman.
Right.
Hey, just like, hey, man, Lord bless me, he go, hey, curse me as well.
And again, we skipped a lot in there. Yeah. Basically, that's what he told her. You stupid? Like, come on. But again, what the brother just read too, read that last verse again.
It's, read the whole thing.
Where you stop at?
Yeah, it said, in all this did not Job sin with his lips.
In all this, again, we skipped a good bit of it, of what Job was actually going through, Again, and we just got to the point of it, but still, with everything that just happened to Job right then and there, he stayed 10 toes for the Lord. All right, so how much more us, in the times of trouble, and, the times where everything is going to start to get hard, when things are going to start to get worse. We prepare our mind to know these things and stand on 10 toes. If we got examples with Yahweh Shai, and we got an example of Job. standing 10 toes on the values and standing on business of Yahweh by Shemal Shah.
Yeah, being sober, man.
Yeah.
Cause they like, hey, just like hey, same thing that happened to Job, hey, same thing can happen to us, man. Like
Yeah.
our loved ones, hey man, Satan, hey, use our loved ones, man, trying to get us to forsake the Lord. So hey man, what they present the MOTP, they gonna try to get us to get it. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta be sober to man to forsake that, man.
But another thing too, from both of those accounts, they both was in a state of suffering.
Right.
Right? Yeah, Yahweh Shai, he was weak, you know, at a point of fasting 40 days, 40 nights. All right. And you had Job, which he went through all kind of things.
He
man.
lost everything.
He lost everything, man.
Everything.
You know? And these examples have been set up for us to believe on them now. So when we go through that same path, we have these stories to look back on, man.
Yeah.
And know and see the end of it too. You know?
Yeah.
Sweet talk to
Yeah. But look again too, you know, with Job, just kind of just a little bit more with Job, you know, even with all that, you know, things started to get even more stupider and worse through his walk. But again, he stayed with it, you know, because again, what we dealing with that similar that Job had to deal with. His children was wicked. His children was being wicked, you know, but obviously some of brothers don't have children. But you can imagine if your children go on do whatever they want to do, and that's not pleasing to the Lord, and you know that they're gonna die at the end of the day. All right, but you know I can't save them. I'm gonna try to the levels that I could, but you know at the end of the day, there's something that I'm just gonna have to let go. You know, that's the it's the what it is the some of the battle, the condition of the battle, Salaki. But again, you know, for other brothers, that's another example of. If it's not your children, it's your family members. You know, it's the condition of the battle. You still holding that loop for me? Yeah. We could Luke 6:14. Hate
not. Hate.
Hating your father.
Yeah, cause hey man, your mind got to be at a different capacity in this truth, man. Mm-hmm. The way you think, all right, the way you gotta. Like the apostle said, you gotta be a visionary, right? You gotta see the vision down the line. In my mind, my woman, my child, I've seen them put to death, brother. That's how my mind has already think. So what? That I'm not attached to it, or that it don't knock me off of my it don't knock my spirit, or it don't afflict my spirit. No, I already done thought about this. I done well consider it, and in my mind, it done already happened. So when that time comes, well, we're gonna take away this, that, and the third. Well, I already done took it away in my mind, though. That's what we talk about with your mindset, man. You know, so it don't be a hindrance to you when these things might actually happen. You see? Go ahead.
I'm keep on making that point out there. That's sober.
Yeah.
They let go all the emotion, man. You know, cause Satan go use that, man, to bother you.
Yeah, to his advantage. And it's gonna be a disadvantage to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's why you just gotta cut, certain levels of things because, like, we know ultimately that's why you gotta have that righteous, I don't give a fuck mentality. Right? Because we at the end of the day, even if those things do happen, man, we know that it ain't the end of us.
It ain't the end of us.
Yeah, we know the Lord is the one doing it.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, if man, at the end of the day, regardless of how we feel, okay, if the Lord okay with it, man, so be it.
Yeah.
So
hey, like we say, if the Lord cool with it,
we cool with it.
Yeah,
if that's what I gotta go through to get my crown,
that's it.
Then that's what it is.
It's gonna be a beautiful story, y'all.
Yeah. Cause we know we got coming to receive. We gonna get that back. We understand that. So we not overtaken by those things, man. We got it.
Grab that loop for me. And before
hold on one too.
Yeah, you go at the Matthew the regeneration. Con. We get the loop, then we're gonna get the Matthew. But before we get the loop, I gotta hit one of my favorite movie quotes. Heat. Neil McCauley, aka Robert De Niro.
Get out of here.
He says, "Don't let yourself."
Quote, huh?
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes, brother. Don't let yourself get attached to anything you're not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner.
Yeah.
All right. And Jake just got to be in that mindset. All right. And brother could grab that at Matthew 2 when they tell you don't return back to your homes. That's Luke. I know it's something. But yeah, you don't want to get attached to anything that you can't I thought it was Matthew.
I get it, brother.
It's like it. But you don't want to get attached to nothing, man. Attachment is damn, me and a brother did similar videos to that. I got that quote from Kaya.
Yeah, attachment is the root of suffering, man.
Yep, attachment is the root of suffering. God, you don't want to be attached to anything out here. It's going to drag you down.
Yeah, the heat is coming around the corner.
It's heat around the corner. Yep.
Hey, the heat is around the corner.
Around the damn corner.
Yeah. I got that loop for you.
We're going to go down the line.
Go ahead, brother.
You want that Luke?
Yeah, get the loop.
Luke 14:26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yet in his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Can't be a disciple of Yahweh Shimon Shah with holding the values of these certain family members over the Lord. All right, the Lord not with that. All right, so at some point in time, you know, brother, it tells you in Corinthians, you know, the hierarchy of things, of how things need to be conducted. All right, so again, with us conducting ourselves, we need to hold Yahweh Shimon Shah first and foremost in our mind, and then everything else is gonna fall in line. All right, but they have more than that. Was that it?
I can read the next verse. That's pretty much it.
Come on.
Verse 27. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Bearing your cross, all right? Suffering, all right? That's what's going to have to happen. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to go through something, all right? If you're not going through something, something is wrong, all right? You need to pray immediately because Satan probably got you, probably setting you up for something. You know, the Lord probably got you in the crosshairs if you're not suffering in some type of way, okay? But again, you got to bear your cross, you know, and it tell you that, you know, if you don't pick up your cross, you can't follow Yahweh Shimon Shah, man. You know, if you can't bear your cross, you can't follow Yahweh Shimon Shah. The Lord did it. He gave us examples physically that he did this, you know, for us to understand that in the spiritual, you know.
Yeah.
But let's get that Matthew brother.
I want to make a point real quick because, like I said, if you don't hate, now listen.
Oh, it's love less.
You know, we're not literally saying, oh, we hate, we go home, we curse everybody out.
Yeah.
You know,
a line in their home.
Yeah, no, man, we're not saying that, brother.
Yeah.
All right, this is basically just telling you to put the Lord first, put the ministry, put this truth first, and everything else comes after it. You got to go to camp on Saturday, but we doing something, such and such at 4:00, but camp for 4:00.
Yeah.
So this come first. I'm going to do this. Oh, well, you always going to camp every Saturday. You can't take a Saturday. No. This is what love and less are putting your family, all right, on the back burner, man. Your father, your mother, we honor our father and our mother, man. All right? We treat them how we supposed to treat them through the scriptures, all right? We don't go and oh, you still going to fucking church? Yeah. Man, we're gonna fucking kill y'all. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that, man. All right? But go ahead, I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Y'all just about to say, but because our duty come first.
Yeah.
Regardless of how anybody feel or what anybody got to say, we got a duty to serve the Lord, and that's the most important thing. So that's our priority, our top priority. You got it.
Then one day too, they'll respect that too.
Yeah.
A lot of people respect that. You know what I'm saying? To where, hey, man, you just, you know, no matter what they might not agree, but at the end of the day, they respect it though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A little backlash.
Yeah, but even if they don't respect it, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. It don't matter, you know. I right now, you know, through one of my walks and my examples, you know, I had to walk away from a job. You know, you walk away from a job, they telling you that you're not gonna get your Fridays, Saturdays off no more. It's like, okay, what's the purpose? I go find something else,
Right.
you know. But you know, even when it comes to hating your family, you know, damn sure you gotta hate the job too. You know, with the job, really hate the job. not no love less with the job. Hate the job.
Fuck the job. Go to work, but fuck the job.
Yeah, fuck the job. You know, with the family members, hate goes into love less, but with the job, fuck the job.
Yeah.
Hate the job, you know. We ain't trying to Jake, man, we kings, man. We holy, peculiar people to Yahweh Shem Shah, man. We ain't trying to do no serving duties, man.
Yeah, if you love work, brother, you gotta examine yourself.
Yeah.
You got to go on a fast.
You gotta get
Hey,
the
brother, you
anointing
like
oil.
going to work out. Something
You gotta
wrong,
bust it
brother.
on your head. You gotta fast. You gotta do all that. Bro, I hate work.
Brother,
I
I
never
hate-
want to go to work.
When the
Never.
alarm, brother,
I hate
when the
work,
alarm
brother.
go off, brother, like I tell y'all brothers, I sit there and I just look at the ceiling, brother.
Boy, you want every day to be the last day. Man.
Brother, I'm just waiting on the day that we don't gotta go to work no more. God damn.
Ridiculous, bro. But you got the Matthew.
This is Matthew 19 and verse, I start at 27. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
You
You
could,
gotta go one more.
yeah, go and then go
Yeah.
back to the top, man. Break it down.
Verse 29, it says, And every one that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Everlasting life. All right, but let's start back at the top and
28.
yeah.
It says, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit.
No, one more. Peter.
27. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and have followed thee.
And haven't we not? You know, again, what the brothers are speaking of right now, all of the sacrifices that we're doing right now, again, with carrying our cross, bearing our cross, you know, the sacrifices that we're doing right now, we've given away all of these things to follow Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, again, because what got brothers that was in the NFL, they had brothers that had the potential to go to the NFL, brothers that had potential to go to the NBA, brothers that was probably in the NBA, brothers that could have been making musical careers, and they've forsaken all of these things, these temporary things, you know, just to follow Yahweh Shem Shah.
Millions of dollars, all right?
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Yes, brother.
Just to come follow the Lord, brother. Because they understood the greater glory that was at hand, man. All right? So what's the small shit that's holding you back, man?
Yeah.
You know?
But continue.
Verse 28. It says, And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
You know, and that regeneration. All right, because again, Peter knew that they wasn't going to be at that time, you know, receiving all of this. All right, so what that regeneration too goes into with the reincarnation, you know, ultimately, and you know, he ultimately knew at the end of time. That's the question that he's asking. All right, in the time that we are reincarnated, you know, what are we going to receive? You know, how what we're going to get for doing this beautiful duty, you know, unto you. Continue on. Or what you
Yeah,
read
they got
before, huh?
a little bit, that verse 29. And it says, And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters.
It's like the last bit of the previous verse. What it says.
It says, Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah, and that's what the reward is. All right, the reward is for us to be, you know, of that judging body, you know, that the 144,000 of the governing body. That's what I meant to say. It's like the water, but you know, that's what we're striving for, to with the reward of leaving everything and following Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, again, what the brother brought out in the Matthew, but the one really in Revelation, that the Lord is coming back and giving everybody rewards according to their doing. You know, roughly paraphrasing. But you know, that's what we're going to receive, man. And that's a beautiful beautiful exchange, you know, for the suffering that we're gonna have to go through. But finish it off.
Got that word forsaken for you.
Yeah, he about to get it, and then you gonna hear the word. Is that last verse?
Verse 29, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Everlasting life, man. And it's that beautiful picture of, you know, you just giving up this one little thing, you know, and little do you know that the Lord got hundreds and thousands and millions of it right behind his back if you were just willing just to give that up. Yeah. So you give that up for him, this one thing that you probably like, oh man, like I really love this, I like this. Man, this is something that I always wanted and I can keep it. You know, if you tell the Lord, no, I want to keep it, then the Lord gonna smite you down. All right? And then you're gonna be one of them foolish men of the example waking up to everlasting shame. You know? But if you just go ahead and trust into the Lord and go ahead and give over, you know, these small minor things right now, the Lord is gonna give you back that 100-fold, man. And that's the mindset of things. That's the sacrifice that we have to give. You know, no ifs, ands, buts about it. We have to give that sacrifice to Yahweh Shem.
Yeah, one day too, it's gonna be ours too, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be ours forever. Hey, things we get in this world, it's not even about ours, man.
Right.
You know, but it could be taken away from us.
Yep.
You know.
He did the word for second.
Strong's G 863. Fear me. Fear me.
All right, it's a word forsaken. It says to send away, to beg going away or depart, to let go, to disregard, to leave. It says to keep no longer. That's pretty much the point.
Yeah, I like to let go. You know, plain and simple. Let go of it, man. You know, once you let go, you wanna see how free, you know, and how everything good is going to be, you know. And when I think again of let go, I know some of you brothers probably watched like an old ass Dave Chappelle interview where he talked about the baboon, and the salt trap.
Yeah, the Bushman.
The Bushman. Yep. Mm-hmm. And basically, just a quick breakdown of that little story is that the baboon.
I'll read it.
Oh, you can read it?
Let me get it.
Kind of. Yeah, but it's a beautiful example of letting go, right?
I got a quick precept.
You can bring that while you get it.
This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 3. It says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach." Verse 4, "No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him whom have chosen him to be a soldier."
Chosen you to be a soldier. All right. So first and foremost, being a soldier is a job. All right. In order to be a soldier of anything, you know. So we being soldiers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you know, part of that duty is to not be entangled with anything in this life. You know, not getting caught up in any type of way. You know, entanglements. Yeah. Our duty is to serve. You know, as a soldier, your duty is to serve. And who are we serving? How about Shem Yahushua? So that's what we're doing. All right. And we keeping our eyes single on our Lord and our duties that the Lord has given us to do. Okay. So he's doing that. He's giving us the script that we need to follow. And we are being those servants, those soldiers that are obeying wife of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua to listen and not stray off.
Hey, the Zaquan always say, hey, if a man, you can't come to the battle and be thinking about what's going on at home.
Right.
You're just going to get yourself and everybody else killed.
Right.
Yeah,
that's how you got to be a soldier.
Yeah, because, hey, brothers always made this analogy of that movie, that Prisoners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Lawrence T.
Yep.
And that scene with Chris Tucker, where he was saying, well, we basically, Lawrence T, he was saying, like, he have a daughter, a newborn daughter at home. But yeah, Chris Tucker asked him, hey man, where's the picture at? He said, you don't have no picture. Right. And then, yeah, Chris Tucker was like, yeah, you bugging. But yeah, Lawrence, he told him the reason why he didn't have no picture or he didn't have no contact. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, hey, if he think upon those things, that's go, hey, make him lose the war.
Right.
You know, so that's why he was able to, hey, man, to endure, man. He was able, man, to be alive.
Right.
During those wars, man. You know, because he's not thinking about it, man. All you think about is the mission.
You were sober.
You were sober, yeah.
He wasn't overcome by
Emotions,
right?
yeah.
Man, that's a heavy. I'm gonna do a lesson on that, bro.
Because even, man, we watched the movie, yeah, doing that movie, man, she was messing with somebody else, man, in that movie.
Yeah.
So imagine him realizing, where's him thinking about that,
Right.
in that time.
Again, yeah, and you made the perfect example that, well, not example. You explained it well of him, you know, just staying focused. You know, with all of these distractions not in his mind, and him not even placing it in his mind, because brothers got to know that too. All right, these distractions is something that you place in your mind.
Right.
All right. So if you place these distractions in your mind, it's going to mess you up. It's going to knock you off your tracks. All right. But if you in your mind erase these things and keep these things far off, detached, as the brother just said, you know, that's what's going to keep keep you on your track. All right. The quote, yeah, kind of.
This is an overview of the baboon salt trap analogy. All right, which says the importance of letting go of something valuable, but potentially limiting to gain a greater benefit. It is a metaphor of overcoming the fear of losing something to achieve something better.
Yep.
Want to speak on it?
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. Is it gonna go into what the quote said, or I just give it?
What?
It's just an overview of the.
It's
analogy.
everything. It's the analogy. It got.
Is it the actual quote?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the actual quote in there, like the story.
What quote quoted?
No, okay. So basically, why the baboon,
Talking about with the salt and everything?
yeah,
Yeah.
it goes into that too. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so it says, traditionally, they lure baboons by placing salt in a small hole. The baboon, attracted to the salt, grabs it with its hand.
Yep.
The salt swells the hand, and the baboon struggles to release it, becoming trapped. The bushman then intervenes, taking the baboon's hand and giving it all the salt it wants, followed by a temporary confinement. After the confinement, the baboon, thirsty, eagerly runs to a watering hole, which the bushman follows, finding water for themselves. The lesson, it says, the importance of letting go. Just as the baboon must release the salt to find water, people must sometimes let go of perceived gains or attachments to achieve greater long-term success or satisfaction.
And again, that was the point, you know. So really, all that baboon had to do was let go. All right, because his hand's swelling up with that salt, he can't pull it out. But that baboon, so greedy for that salt and getting everything that he want out of that, you know, whatever benefit that they get from it, all he got to do is let go, and that's nothing but just opening your palm and relaxing your hand and pulling out the trap.
Yeah.
But again, you know, that's the full circle of it. You know, that's what people in this world cannot do. All right, and that's what the Lord requires us to do. All right, just go ahead and let go, man.
He ain't really holding on to
You're not
shit.
even holding on to nothing. Yes, brother. Nothing at all. Nothing of value at all. You know what I'm saying? So, again, for us, it's a no-brainer. You know, for others, it's a stumbling block. You know, and it's you just gotta, you know, pray for it. If that's a stumbling block in front of you, you know, pray to the Lord to open your eye cells and make you understand that letting go is good.
Yep.
All right, letting go is one of the best things that you could ever do in this world. All right, and again, it's like for me being long with it, but you know, I just think about, you know, even family members of mine, of just wondering, you know, why just out of nowhere it just seemed like I don't care about making a lot of money and doing this and that and doing all this and so on and so forth. Why you not working as hard as that you know that you could do? It's because, man, I got better things I need to be doing, that I need to be focusing on. You know?
Yeah, we chasing after a bigger picture.
All right, this is Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the sure mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto our power, which is your reasonable service.
Reasonable service.
Verse 2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that which is good. It's like a what that is good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
You got it good, bro.
Yeah, so us brothers and our brothers, coming into the truth, gaining the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What does Scripture say, man? It says, we can't conform ourselves to this world, man. And when you think about the conforming, or what the Scriptures say about touching, you know what I'm saying? It's basically making a friendship or covenant with the world, man. Yeah, becoming one. You become one when you join a joint, or the Scriptures talk about touching something. It's two things coming together. Okay, so in like manner, we're supposed to do the exact opposite of that, man. You know what I'm saying? And a renewing of the mind is what? The Scriptures, man. And particularly the truth of the Scriptures. Okay, the Lord's given us this. The Scriptures talk about the treasure in earthen vessels, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can say, because but you can't get none of that until you do what? Make your body a living sacrifice. Yeah. None of that don't come until you make your body like you brother. You got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right, and the Lord say it's reasonable.
It's reasonable
Because He could just, offer you. You know what I'm saying? But He said this is a reasonable service.
Yeah.
You offering your body as a living sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's our purpose.
Yeah.
Because we thought we was in the world. We thought our purpose, man. We thought our purpose was to be successful in this world. But yeah, the Lord renew us in the mind, where He transform us to what, hey man, you renew us to, hey man, now we our purpose. Yeah. And how we do that? Like, hey, my boss conform to His ways, man.
Brother, think about this, bro. It's like, you want to say something real quick?
No, I was just about to say this because the sacrificing is the letting go.
Yes.
Because the sacrifice, you might care about this and care about that, but to put it all is to let it go in order for to achieve, the bigger picture.
Yeah, but, just to say real quick, man, just think about that, man. Again, something that we never thought that we was looking for. The Lord placed us in front of it, placed us in front of this to do this job, to receive everything that we was looking for, But again, all that being said, the Lord, He basically, imagine, back in the world, Jake felt like they was losing in his life, man. Jake felt like we was doing something wrong because somehow these people making six figures and millions of dollars and going on TV and doing all this and that and the third. And they used to have Jake kind of messed up for a second, like, damn, he made it to the league. Damn, I was better than him. All this stuff going on. But then all of a sudden the Lord sits you down and give you this beautiful gift and turn your head around and tell you, like, hey, you actually winning right now.
Yeah.
You winning, and you about to receive the biggest gift that you could ever desire if you just continue to walk this way. But it's just beautiful. Brothers gotta, really take that into their mind that, this is a beautiful opportunity, the best opportunity, the golden ticket that the Lord has given us, man.
It was beautiful that the opportunity was for us.
Yep.
Us only.
Yes, brother.
Hey, you get an opportunity in the world, man. Anybody can get a so-called opportunity in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But the opportunity we have right now, it was for us. It was for us. It was preordained for us, man.
Okay, go ahead.
I got you. You say you about to say something?
No, I was just about to say, and that opportunity just not an ordinary opportunity.
Yeah,
The opportunity of that golden ticket is life.
It's life.
I got a precept real quick. This is Sirach 35 and verse 7. It says, the sacrifice of a just man is acceptable, and the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten. So that's that, incorruptible crown, man. You know what I'm saying? You willing to lay your life on the line, right? For your how about Shemal Shah, right? Memorial goes into a memories, man. People are gonna know you in the kingdom of heaven for being that guy, man.
A good name.
Yeah.
I would say we putting out all to receive all, man. In a sense, man. Because everybody else, when they put it all into this world just to lose it all. But yeah, hey man, we're putting all outside. Hey, well, I think it's a cool saying. Greatness comes from sacrifice.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. That's
want the evidence? I got a precept though back in the
Go ahead,
a
go ahead.
lot of shit.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
Yep. This
Let me get them all. Then get the evidence.
this Philippians chapter 3, verse 7. For what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Mashiach. Yea, doubtless. So ain't no doubt. Doubtless.
Doubtless.
I count all things but loss, forsaken.
Yep.
I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach. And basically, the things that was lose that we lose, it ain't shit, man.
It's not shit.
Yeah.
It ain't shit. Go ahead.
I'm about to get it.
Oh, all right.
Because I want to say it, man, ain't nothing better than, hey, Bob say obtain this truth and understanding who we are, and understand this word. Can nothing get greater than that, man.
Yeah.
That's why, hey, when we lose certain things, man, we don't feel bad about it.
Right.
Because, hey, man, we got the Lord. You know? We know the will of the Lord, man. We know who he is, man.
Yep.
Hey,
If I can read it in NLT, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, just to say real quick, again, just backing up your point, I remember Jake, in and out of jobs and so on and so forth, and then before the truth, it used to be a panic of like, damn, what's gonna happen next? Like right now, brothers losing shit, and it's like, oh well, like it happened. All right, as long as I do this, I know the Lord gonna come with something. There's something that's need for me to continue to work. But brothers don't stress over nothing. Once you get in this truth, and this truth becomes your anchor, you won't be able to wave nowhere. The Lord got you.
That's why when people obtain the things of this world, you know what I'm saying, once they have it, all of a sudden, like, yeah, that lust, that happiness, you know what I'm saying, it's but for a moment, and then once they lose it, you know what I'm saying, that's all they have.
Yeah.
And once they lose it, hey,
They lose
themselves.
After they lose it, they lose it.
I got a little more.
Go ahead.
It's in the NLT. Philippians 3 and 8. It says, yes, everything else is worthless when compared to the infinite value of knowing Hamashiach Yahushua, my Lord. For his sake, I have discarded everything else, counting it all as garbage, so that I could gain Hamashiach Yahushua and become one with him. And that's the point. Hey, man, we discard all of these things. These things are worthless compared to what? Knowing Yahushua, man. The one who actually gonna come and save us from this hellhole. You see? That's why it's an infinite wealth of invaluableness, man. All right? You can't put a price on knowing Yahushua, man. Go ahead, bro.
Jake get that cheat code, man. That Grand Theft Auto automatic money.
L2, R2, L1, down, X, O, L2, R2, star.
Left down, right up, left down, right up.
Yeah.
We got that, man. That's what the Lord gonna give us, man. We got the cheat code. We got the power, man. That's our power. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You gotta remember that. Know who you're dealing with.
Even a sneak peek right now, man.
What you say?
Yeah. Even a sneak peek right now, like, hey, the things that we might lose, even though that, man. Yeah, I'm shot, man. Well, he gonna give us what we need, man.
As long as we ain't bugged out,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you call on the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua every morning, all right? You good.
Lord come through, man.
The Lord will come through, man.
Hey, brother, the Lord take care of the animals.
Yes,
Brother, we serve how much more his service, bro?
Come on, bro.
He said, yeah, we more value. Yeah, we more value than the animals.
We're not more valuable than they.
He makes sure they eat the birds and shit. He makes sure they eat, bro. How much more his service?
Come on,
I had something to back up with that brother had with yeah. This Romans 8 and 18.
Yes, sir.
For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You want to say something on it, brother?
No, good. You got it.
Yeah, man. The sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed in us, man. All right, because what we going to receive, when we receive that and look back and be like, man, that wasn't, bro. What we gonna receive is infinite. So what's the gain of brother, what's losing a woman, or a job, or anything on the side compared to gaining immortality? All right, being one with the Most High, uh, uh, righteousness.
Yeah.
All right, come on, the spiritual things, man.
Drinking wine with your house shut.
Drinking, come on, brother, come on,
brother.
being a king,
Being a king, pointing, snapping, pointing fingers, giving out orders, having slaves, dominion.
enjoying your children.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro. So,
seeing the fall of your enemy.
Yeah.
man, we gonna gain that. We like, man, we don't even much damn near deserve this, brother. We supposed to go through way more than what we going through for that kind of reward, bro.
Hey, to tell you that in Ezra 9, it punished us less than we deserve.
Less than we deserve, brother.
You know?
I would say, yeah, most of all, we would have immortal bodies, man.
Perfect.
Way, yeah, perfect. It's perfect. So we ain't gotta worry about death. We ain't gotta worry about going off. You know what I'm saying?
No flesh.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no more war with the flesh.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be perfect, brother.
Yeah.
That's it.
And also, also, man, the brothers, man.
Yep.
You know, we all gonna be at one, man.
Yep.
You know, ain't gonna be no enmity. You know what I'm saying? Right, baby, man. Certain kingdom, northern tribe. Or even say, man, hey, 2/3 of our people, man, we could be good with them too.
Yeah.
You know,
They're gonna be in their right mind.
they'll be in their right mind.
Yeah,
I
boy.
got
You was done with that? Yeah.
I had a quick precept going into what that brother was talking about. This is Matthew 6 and verse 25. It says, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life,
Yes, bro.
what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than in meat, and the body than raiment?" Verse 26, "Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your Father which feedeth them, are ye not much better than they?" Right. So, going into what the brother Nahoya was saying, man, the Lord has made a plethora of different animals. You know what I'm saying? It tells you everything he made is good. You know what I'm saying? And he loved those. So how much more do he love his closest creation, man? Which is the sons of God.
I would say, you bring an example, they the fowls.
Yes.
Or the birds.
Right.
Hey.
So the Lord has the worms come up from out the ground specifically so the birds could eat that day. Right. And that's their food. So how much more for us, in our times of trouble,
We over the beast.
Right.
Yeah, like as far as the birds, like people, the laws use certain people to throw away leftover food. Now they just throw away leftover food. We're not thinking the law used them to throw away that leftover food for the birds to eat it.
Right. Exactly.
And then you see birds, they flying around, man. Look.
Right, man, in Genesis, the first chapter, was basically put over the beast, man. You know what I'm saying? It told you that when Noah was making the ark, that it said that the spirit was on the beast. It said he was exceedingly dreadful, because somebody had questioned, well, how he got all the animals on the ark if they gonna eat it? You know what I'm saying? Or they gonna attack him, or they gonna do this? No, he had the power and the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai on him to complete the task.
And that's coming back in the style.
Yes.
Coming back, yes.
You're gonna see our children, all right, our little 1, 2-year-old babies playing with bears, all right, gorillas, lions, some of the most animals that they consider the most vicious. Because that order is coming back in the planet Earth, man. As we were over the beast once before, they had respect unto the people. That's coming back in the style, man.
Well, I said, man, Jay don't know how great the king will be, man.
Come on, bro.
Even we can't imagine it, man.
Hey, the Lord said it's gonna be marvelous in His eyes. So if it's gonna be marvelous in the Lord's eyes,
We can't even begin to think
we can't think about how marvelous it's gonna actually be, brother. I'm talking about Yahweh. He gonna be returned back to us, brother. His eyes gonna be able to behold us as a nation again. Jake can't, man. My mind right now can't even fathom that, brother.
Right.
We know it's coming, though.
Yeah.
It's coming, brother. Yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. This is trying to see what it was.
Get the point, huh?
They get the point.
Okay, this is Isaiah 11 and verse 8, and it says, "And the suckling child
Yep.
shall
That's it.
play on the hole of the asp,
Yep.
and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den." Right, which goes into what, man? You know, goes into, so, you know, basically venomous snakes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to, you know, pick up the snakes and just twirl them around and, you know, play with them. You know what I'm saying? But the snakes won't bite them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because they could be under ice, man. You know?
Right.
Which is in that same chapter, they say the wolf also
Yeah,
shall
that's-
dwell with the lamb. Right? You know, we know wolves. Wolves, they destroying lambs, brother. They
Right.
getting the one out the pack and we gone. You know?
Packs, they roll like 20 deep.
Yeah.
But you got something?
No,
You about to hit it, but I got one you can end it on.
I got one I was going to on too.
Read the next verse, all right, brother, for sure.
they read next verse.
Verse 9, it says, they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea.
Right. So if the earth, how the earth gonna be filled with the knowledge of the Lord? Because his people gonna be perfect. So like I said, it ain't gonna be no more every man teach their neighbor. No, all Israel gonna be righteous in that day. So the earth is automatically gonna be filled with what? Knowing the Lord. It's,
We
it's
gonna have
simple.
dominion.
We gonna have
So
dominion.
if we righteous and we got dominion, the whole world gonna be righteous.
And every
I mean,
nation under us
yeah.
gonna have to do what? Follow righteousness, or they gonna be made an example out of, man.
Right. There's gonna be a lot of that because they're not gonna have the same bodies we got.
Nope.
So they still gonna have to fight with the flesh
Yeah.
and deal with certain things.
And we gonna play tricks on their mind,
Yep.
especially them Edomites.
Yeah, 'cause, man, we gonna have all type of power, man.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah, man. We gotta use that, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
brother. All that.
We
All
gotta
that.
let go some steam. Just say,
Oh, but you know how then we're gonna end it off with that. Rashad. You want? Come on. Well, let's just hit that.
Bring your precept out, brother. Bring your precept out.
Psalm 55 and 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
He should not suffer the righteous to be moved. You know, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, man. Do what you gotta do. Do what you're supposed to do. All right, in righteousness. All right, and the Lord will not forsake you. All right, the Lord will not forsake you. And like you said, everything will follow. You know, when I had told brother to hold it, but he's quoting that Romans again. You know, you call on the Lord, man. He's not known to forsake anybody to call on His name. You know, that's been doing the works. Okay, but matter of fact, now you can just scratch that.
I'm reading that, bro.
Oh, you want to read that?
I'm reading that.
Come on, what's like? Go ahead.
Jake trying to kill the precepts and in the cap. Right? Come on, man.
Go ahead, brother. Slug.
This is 2 Esdras 8:1. It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many,
Yep.
but the world to come for few.
Cause made this world to come for few, man. You know, that hopefully luck. You know, it's the reason why the 1/3, you know, is gonna, you know, be the 1/3 is less than a 2/3. You know, and ultimately, again, you know, our people, us, get in the kingdom, you know, of the men that's actually doing the work right now. You know, that's going to be that few, because there's only few people that's putting their hands to the plow right now to receive this gift and reward of Yahweh Shema Shah.
Yeah, because righteousness is simple.
Yep.
It's plain. It's high holy days and it's righteousness.
Yep.
They got laws to follow and that's it.
Yep.
When the world is ruled in wickedness, there are many things that you can go, different avenues you go down.
Yep.
You could be a Christian, not a true, you know, we know what the true
what
Christians
the
are.
Christian is,
You
yep.
know, you could be a Muslim, you could be Buddhist, you could be
the followers people.
you know, you could be a Satanist, you could be you believe in a Yahoo,
Atheists.
you could be an atheist.
Mhm.
See, wickedness got many paths.
Right.
So that's why the Lord said this world has been made for many.
Yeah.
But see, in the world to come, it's going to be few because it's just going to be one way to go.
Broad is the path of destruction.
Yeah.
That's
Broad is the way that leadeth to
Yes.
destruction, man. And there be many that find it.
Many. Only few go find that 8 that never found.
That's right.
That's what the Lord opening our ourselves to see these things, man. Our spiritual eyes to see, man. We see the path. We see the route that we need to go. You know, everybody else, they looking at the glamour and the lights, you know, over there, everything that's going on. But what we looking at fire on the left side, water on the right, and the kingdom ahead. You know, we not getting distracted by any of these things. All right, so we're gonna walk this narrow path, and we're gonna walk down the kingdom, man, Lord willing. But anybody else got any other precepts? Come. So we pray that this live camp was edifying. Praying to get out of here, we want to give infinite honors and prayers to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who taught us the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect, you Akim, you Akwat, you brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. Shalom.
Shalom.
Ababa Ba.
Ababa Ba.
Ababa Ba.
Ababa Ba.
Ababa Ba.
Ababa Ba.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.
2:30.